they did the full slow-mo motion for him.
Yes.
When he came around the corner.
Yes.
As if he was going to look any different than he had for the last 2.5 hours.
Yes, but now he's in slow-mo.
Is that it? Is that the whole difference?
That makes all the difference.
Hey everyone, the KDrama Coffee Break is back. And I think you'll notice that we are in a very familiar place. I'm so excited.
That's right. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, just know that we are outside. It's beautiful. We live in Los Angeles. It's a gorgeous day.
It is. It's perfect. And we are here to discuss, it's kind of a matchup. It's like the big matchup right now in all of K-drama land. It is the See You in My 19th Life versus King the Land.
How odd that two premieres about pretty much the same thing.
Right?
Hotel, rom-com, chaebol with mommy and daddy issues.
Yes.
Surly, young woman, spunky. Well, that's always the case. But it's like they're both chaebols in a hotel, rom-com, premiering on the same weekend.
And yet, in my opinion, wildly different shows.
Yes, very different. But depending on how much K-drama watching time you have, maybe you're trying to decide which one to watch.
Exactly. And that is why we are here for you. We are going to kind of just briefly tell you our thoughts on the premieres of both of them.
That's right.
Right?
Although we know how much Jenn loves reincarnation. But is there ever a question?
Is there ever a question? No, I know. I sat through some reincarnation shit.
You really have?
I really have. I can't even think of the worst one I've sat through at this point. But
Alice?
I know that oh God, Alice. Oh God. Oh yeah. Clearly I was trying to like keep that one out of my, but you guys all know, I love me some reincarnation. I love me some reincarnation. So with this one, I'm very excited, but I've got a few quibbles. But let's jump in and just kind of give a really quick synopsis of each of them, and then we'll jump in with what we like about them, what we don't like about them, and if we're going to stick with it. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So just as Marisa said, a very quick synopsis of See You in My 19th Life. We've got a young woman who has been reincarnated. This is her 19th reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
In her 18th reincarnation, she meets a young boy and falls in love. We're not really quite sure what it is, but she's very drawn to him. And so when she dies tragically in a car accident,
mm-hmm.
she is determined to come back quickly so that she can meet him again in her 19th life.
And she remembers all her past lives.
That is key. I missed that. Yes. She remembers all of her past lives. And
do you think Shin Hae-sun remembers being Mr. Queen, though?
Oh my God. I thought that her character had some Mr. Queen character tendencies, which I kind of really dug. Yeah.
And her in her 19th life, she meets up again with a niece from her 16th or 17th life, but who was also in Mr. Queen as her lady in waiting.
Oh my God, I keep forgetting that, but it's probably my favorite 5 minutes in every episode. They're so adorable together.
They are. Yeah. So I guess that's the key for this show for us is the actors, their relationships, and how they're getting along, because it's a wacky conceit and it's fun. Yeah, it is. I do.
I really enjoyed it. Now, I'll be the first to admit that the whole setup of her fall. So she, in her 18th life, she's 12 and she falls in love. Fall in love, I think, is really the wrong word, but she's very attached or drawn to this young 8-9-year-old boy.
Yeah, can we talk about this?
We can. That's why we're here.
It's a little uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable.
It's really weird because they don't really define the fascination she has with him. Like, that wasn't clear to me.
No. It's a little clearer, I think, once you get to episode 2. But it still is not. I'm reading the webtoon as well.
Oh, yeah?
So, and they still haven't quite really made it make a ton of sense. But what I've latched onto, which is getting me through it, because I love Shin Hae-sun and Ahn Bo-hyun so much. I adore them so much that I already love them. I have to make it work. Is that because she's so old, like her soul is so old. She's been around, and I think she even says it at the end of episode 2, she's been around since 940, right? So that's when she was born. So she's been around for like 1,000 years.
Okay.
And she remembers every life for 1,000 years. So she's like 1,000-year-old soul.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that this Saw character does for her in this 18th life that has not happened in any other life, we haven't really, that seems to be the construct, is that he has made her feel like an actual 12-year-old again.
Okay. Oh, right. Because the idea of being a child is a fairly modern concept.
That, yes.
Kids were put to work, battlefields, everything, right? And I think they did show some flashbacks. By the way, I think Chae Jung-hyuk appeared in one of the flashbacks.
Did.
So I think he's one of her lives. But yeah, she has lived these really difficult lives because Joseon-era, not easy. Not easy.
No. I mean, anything from 940 onward, not an easy childhood.
No. But that wasn't clear to me.
No.
Did I miss something?
No. I'm only saying this because I read the webtoon and they kind of touched on it. So when I was watching it, I was looking for them in the show to explain it. And so she had maybe a one or two throwaway line. I think at one point, the niece, who I love the fact that she calls her Samchun, which means uncle, every time. I just think it's adorable. But I think at one point she's even like, you're an idiot. Like, what are you doing? And she explains that it was the first time that she felt like a child since her first life. And so that's what I'm latching onto for this.
All right. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was gorgeous.
My God.
I have a few quibbles and I'm wondering if I'm going to start overthinking this, but
okay. That's what we're here for. Okay. We're here for you, Marisa. Go.
I will watch episode 3, but it's beautifully shot.
Yes.
And it's just that higher quality K-drama that you get sometimes. So the director I looked up is Ina Jung, who did Mine, which was one of the makjangs last year. Also Fight for My Way.
Oh, we love that one.
Right. We really love that one. And they were the second unit director, if they break it down that way over there, for Oh My Venus. So that's
okay.
Yeah, so that's plus a whole bunch of other K-dramas. So very solid career.
Very solid.
Really good director.
Yeah.
So there's so many elements to this and it's beautiful. And if it weren't Shin Hae-sun, because I love the kookiness of the character, but she's kind of a stalker.
She is weird. Yeah. I 110%. I will say the one thing again that saves me with this, because again, she's bonkers, right? Yeah. And stalkery bonkers. Yeah. But I love the fact that even everyone around her is like, you're weird, right? Like, I appreciate that they're not just being like, she's so quirky, we love her. They're like, you're an oddball and we're not really sure why we're keeping you around.
You know what I wish? I wish we saw a little more of her previous lives in those moments. Because I need to know that if this 19th life is the culmination of all her other lives, then I kind of wish we had more references back to those lives, and it would kind of help explain why she's the youngest engineer at a at an automobile manufacturer, and she's like on the racetrack all the time. Like, why?
Right.
The last life she died in a car accident. Like, why would you?
She's like, I will overcome cars.
I know.
I will build them.
I know. I was in a bike accident. I haven't gotten on a bike since then. It's like, but yet she's like, oh my goodness.
Right? Yeah. I'm reading the webtoon and I'm halfway through the webtoon and they haven't really delved into that. So I'm hoping that with the drama, we get a little bit more. And they've mentioned it in a lot of their press, that the drama is different from the webtoon in that they're going in their story conceptually is going to be the same and that probably the outcomes are going to be the same, but that how we're going to get there is going to be a little bit different. And so that gives me a little bit hope of them kind of taking this and what I think is a really fun idea. Again, reincarnation, I love it. But this is a really fun idea and maybe expanding on some of the things that you've mentioned. Yeah.
Let's talk about HYUN.
Yes. Yes, please. I love him.
I was like, why did he dive in the swimming pool with a t-shirt on?
Well, there was that. I heard that there was some issue. People were a little concerned with his casting.
Really? Why?
Because they didn't think he fit the Saw character from the webtoon because he's such a slight, soft character.
Okay, I can totally understand that because that's not what I think of. I know he's very talented, can play a lot of roles. Yes. Not my first opinion of him.
Not even close. So I guess he lost like 20 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like lost a ton of weight to play this role. I mean, he's just grown on us and me just so much. I mean, the first time we saw him, for me anyway, I think it was Itaewon Class.
No, we saw him before that.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh my God, he was in Descendants of the Sun, but we didn't know who he was in Descendants of the Sun.
He was the goofy soldier in Descendants of the Sun. Okay. He was very goofy in it. Yes. Kairos.
Oh,
Was that
Kairos
after?
was after, I think.
That was after Itaewon Class?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
Because I think we were like, that's the guy from Itaewon Class.
I think you're right.
If you ever get a chance, just watch the first episode of Kairos. It's so worth it.
That show. Oh,
That show all by itself is amazing.
It was. If you want to, that's another time travel.
That is another. It is. I love time travel. You guys know I love me some time travel and some reincarnation. Obviously, I like to fix mistakes.
But that was one of the best time travel
really
shows
was.
we've ever seen because it made sense in its world.
Mm-hmm.
And An Bo-hyun was a complex man in that.
So good. So I'm really excited to see him in this role.
Yeah. But he's kind of like, right now. Like there's not much personality there. And there's so much hurt.
There's so much hurt. So much hurt.
And
there's so much hurt.
And I need him speaking German because his character, like, you know.
Marisa, I would lose my shit if he started speaking German. I would lose it. Oh my God.
Please give Jen what she needs.
Give me what I need. I'm just really, I don't know. I adore these two so much that I'm just super, super into it. I will say the only thing that was a little bit weird for me, again, it goes with that age thing that I think we're kind of talking about, about the reincarnation. Mm-hmm. But why in holy hell did they not cast someone else as him in high school? He is a 35-year-old man who probably looked 35 when he was 15. And you have him playing a high school student against the girl who's playing who's a 9-year-old, who's an actual 9-year-old. It wasn't Shin Sun playing a 9-year-old. I was like, what is happening, show?
I know, but I did believe that Shin Sun was in high school. She looked really, she looked like a teenager. But yeah, he did not, he was all man. He did not look like an 18-year-old or 19-year-old or whatever.
Or even a 20-year-old. Like, I was like, is this her dad doing some weird Halloween dress up? Like, what is happening?
That was odd because you could have definitely had another couple as their teenage years. So.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Like, there's not 15 billion young actors that they could have pulled from to make that happen.
Is Nada Rum out of the military?
I know. I think he just got out of the military. I should have called him right up. Get him on a leave. But yeah, I don't know. I think overall I really enjoyed it. And going back to kind of like the structure of it and how it looks, I think also the OST is so angsty is not the right word. It's got a certain flavor to it that gives it more heft than I think maybe it would.
So it's not one of those fun, bright K-pop tracks. There's a little more.
Or it's not that relentless beat of like, you are my love of my life, relentless beat of the drum for every time they even look at each other or glance each other's way. Before we actively disliked both of them, remember the shows Nuna Who Buys Me Lunch and then lunch, dinner. You know, she buys me a meal. She's buying me something to eat. And Something in the Rain. That was the same one.
The Tammy Wynette song, that one?
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Over and over and over. But they also had a couple of English songs in them. Thank you, Rachel Yagamata, which were great songs. They beat them into the ground, but they were great songs that really I thought gave that made me more invested in the show up front until I heard the song so many times I was dreaming about it. And these kind of have that flavor to me a little bit. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought other than her just being completely bizarre as a character, because I mean she's got a bizarre backstory.
Yeah. Are we going to get into a love triangle though with the sister? Because she clearly likes.
Do you want me to spoil you on that or no?
No.
Okay.
Well, because I like that there's. So it's such a weird thing when you've been reincarnated and you see your younger sister alive and thriving and creating beautiful gardens but having a crush on the guy who you think is your soulmate.
Right.
That you have crossed time to be with him again.
I have crossed time for you. Yes.
So, yeah. And it's our girl from Extraordinary Attorney Woo.
Oh, right. That's who she was.
Lawyers. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I will say this.
Okay.
You will find out the answer to that question in episode 3.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I should say also this is 12 episodes.
Yes.
Not the usual 16. And it is on Netflix.
So overall, is this a continuation or are you thinking about giving it the boot?
Oh, no. I like this one. And this K-drama drought that we've been in and out of for the past, like, I was listening to some of our older podcasts, and 2020 was such a banner year. It was like we had everything we wanted. Makjang, rom-com, you know, crime, fantasy.
God,
it was
so
all,
good.
and they were all, it was endless. It was so good. It was so good. If you're like us, it's been a little bit waffly lately. You're like, is this good? No, I don't like it anymore. And we've been dropping so many K-dramas, which is the biggest bummer ever.
Such a bummer. We were talking the other day, the number of dramas I've dropped at like with 3 episodes to go, because I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. It's so...
Is it us? I don't think we're that cynical. We really want to like these dramas.
I think that's what it is. Like, I really like this one so far.
So far.
I mean, I'm always open to being horribly disappointed.
Fingers crossed.
Come on, show! And now for some quick KThree KDrama Coffee Break business.
That's right. We love sharing our K-drama thoughts with you, our community of K-drama lovers. And we have a few ways that you can support us. You can buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/the-K3. And by becoming a member, you will get a calendar with weekly updates and also Jen's blog filled with her K-drama thoughts. You can also find us on YouTube. If you go into our archive, we have years of K-dramas to recommend for you, and talk to us there as well on our community tab. We also have a discount for a VPN service. So if you are dying to get your K-dramas that are airing only on Disney Plus in Asia, you can use our VPN. It keeps your devices safe. Just look for the code in the description below.
All right. So that's See You in My 19th Life. So the other one that they both are Saturday, Sunday shows too. So it's not even like there's no offsetting. We are watching these at the exact same time every week. Is King the Land. And this one is a much more standard setup K-drama. Like, this seems very, and I've seen it a lot on Twitter, very throwbacky with the setup. He's a rich chaebol. She's a, coming up from the ground floor, kind of spunky gal. They meet. They don't like each other. They end up in these forced situations.
Guess what? He owns the hotel.
What? Stop.
Oh no. My boss.
Pooping in your bathroom. What?
Oh, the toilet humor in K-dramas.
So, I mean, there's a lot of, and we know this, right?
Yeah.
We don't go any farther. If we stop at episode 2, we know how this ends, right? We all know how this show ends.
Right. So this is definitely one of those K-drama rom-coms where you're in it for the stars and their chemistry.
Yes. And those stars are Marisa.
Yuna from SNSD and JUNHO from 2PM. So it's the K-pop idols who have become very successful actors and who lit up the screen when they co-hosted a couple of different, I don't know, were they the SBS Awards, I think?
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, there's, so they did a musical number in one of them. It was very sexy, very hot, and everyone was like, we need them together in a show. And so here it is. So if you were one of those people clamoring for them after that kind of, spicy dance they did together, then this is it. This is totally it. You're going to get 16 episodes of them. Like, they're already going googly-eyed over each other. Despite the beginning.
Yes. I'll be honest. I only hit play because I felt like, just in due diligence of us talking on all the time about K-dramas, that I had to at least have watched the first couple of episodes. I had no great expectations because the synopsis setup did nothing for me. And while I like both JUNHO and Yuna enough, neither one of them lights my world on fire. So I was not expecting much. I actually enjoyed it far more than I expected to. Did I love it? No, but they were charming in their own way, and I appreciated some of the taking the tropes and maybe making them a little bit smarter than what they used to be.
Well, here's the thing, Jen. I would not have finished episode 1 if it weren't for you telling me that there was a leather pants, a leather coat, and a manor house in the UK.
Y'all, if you watch nothing else, you just need to watch him striding through his manor house in head-to-toe leather.
I know.
Black leather at that.
I was texting Jen. I'm like, is he Mr. Darcy or is this Rochester's, castle? I'm like,
It was, and I'm not even that, he doesn't do that much. I mean, I recognize his attractiveness, all those types of things. But that happened. I was like, holy God, I get it now. Thank you. Oh, my Lord.
But he has
looking
a
all
cat.
dour.
Does he have one cat or more?
He's a cat. He's a cat
dad.
I should like him so much more than I do.
He's a cat dad with a gym on the second floor of his apartment.
Dear Lord, I should really like him more than I do.
You know what? I pressed stop or pause like a dozen times in the first half of that episode 1 because I was like, really? Is this where we're at? It just was such a retread of the same old. And I like Yoona, but it wasn't enough. You know, I don't like her enough to have kept going. But then you mentioned, Mr. Darcy, and I was like, oh, okay, I will at least finish episode 1.
Exactly.
And then by the time we got to end of episode 1 and the time jump, I'm like, oh, okay.
I thought their time jump was actually, I was happy, but I was like, these two fall in love like this. Like, and I even at one point rewound it. I'm like, they said it was 2015. We're getting a time jump, right? Dear God, please tell me we're getting a time jump. But I really was so happy. It wasn't just like a 5-day time jump or like a 5-month time jump or the quintessential 1-year time jump. It was like 5-6 years.
But it was good because it showed you her growth into her, being successful in this role and having confidence. Because I was like, we cannot have a drama where he's the smug, filled with so much hurt, ball, and she's the smiley girl, and he hates fake smiles. I'm like, that's not enough to like build us through 16 episodes. So I was so relieved that they did the time jump, but they really kind of explained it.
Yeah.
So now we've got 2, not equals, but 2 adults.
Right. We have 2 fully formed adults.
Yes.
That's what I liked about it.
Yes.
And that was why I think she's got her core group of friends that, again, love them.
Yeah.
They came up together.
Mhm.
They all have lives. It's not just a bunch of, twee girls with cute smiles that suddenly are spunky and are going to woo the chaebol guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, which I was really happy to see. And he, being a dour man, has the one friend he has one friend. He literally has one friend.
Who works for him
and he pays. He pays one man to be his friend. But I like he's got that one guy who kind of keeps him semi in the real world, which I enjoyed.
I like that we're imploding this idea of the bad boss. Well, also on Junho's side, but like his minion who sticks up for himself and is pretty snarky and funny.
Yeah.
And her friends, they've all become the managers and they've taken how they were treated and said, no, we're going to stop this cycle of abuse in the hierarchy that exists in every system in Korea. And we are going to be better people.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then there's still so many tropes. I'm like, oh.
And that's the thing. Like, there are many, many things I like about this. But like, even in the trailer for leading into this week's episodes, they're like, they get trapped together in a country home, pretending to be husband and wife. I'm like, what? Oh God, not again. Dear God. Okay.
And how did they end up on Jeju? Like, he owns a hotel in Seoul, and it's beautiful. Why are they on Jeju? That Jeju tourism board is really generous with how many K-dramas they fly out there.
But can we talk about the fact that they did the full slow-mo motion for him?
Yes.
When he came around the corner?
Yes.
As if he was going to look any different than he had for the last 2.5 hours?
Yes, but now he's in slow-mo.
Is that it? Is that the whole difference?
That makes all the difference.
I was like, he's been in a 3-piece suit. I mean, if he came around the corner in that full-length leather ensemble, that I want to understand slow-mo on. But the same 3-piece suit that he's been wearing the entire show.
And a watch.
A cracked pocket watch that I'll never get fixed because it was broken sometime for my mother, who I can't find. I have the weirdest theory. Like, I have the weirdest Makjang theory ever.
Yeah?
That his sister is actually his mother.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I was thinking that the whole time. Like, the age gap between these two makes no sense to me. Like, she looks like she's like the mother. Like, she looks like she should be his mom.
Yeah, she's considerably older.
Yeah, and I have nothing against it. I love it. But she looks like she's 10 years younger than the man who's playing the dad, which is really throwing me off.
Right.
So I'm like, is she mom? Like,
yeah.
So, and since we can't find mom and she doesn't exist, I was like, oh.
Well, I need a twist because I don't know why dad is pitting them against each other. I mean,
right? He's still pissed at his daughter for getting knocked up back in the day. I'll make your son hate you.
Oh, my gosh. So this is this is from the director of Reflection of You.
Am I seeing the words Luca on there?
Yes.
Shut up.
So originally created by, and I don't know what that
No.
means. He sat in a writer's room and spit out an idea and then demanded the credit, but it's originally created by Chun Sung-il, who did All of Us Are Dead and Luca.
Oh no, not anything but Luca, y'all. Anything but Luca.
Hard to say where this is going to go.
I think my mom's sister idea really has legs now, though. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Because the wackiness that was Luca, such a strange sci-fi.
Luca. Oh my God. There, it's you'll just.
That is not. That is a no, not a recommendation.
No, not unless you
Do
just want to
not.
like be yelling at your screen the entire time.
Yeah. But the director Im Hyun-wook did Reflection of You, which was the makjang of all makjangs.
Wait, which one was that?
Oh, I was so addicted to this. So Go Hyun Jung plays an artist, and she disappeared for a couple of years with her young boy toy, and all of a sudden, this woman, Shin Hyun Bin, appears in her life who is completely focused on taking her down.
Oh.
And she's married to, she's got this amazing life with Chae-won Young. She has a daughter, Lisa. It's just, it was so so good. Makjang.
So what? So between Makjang and Luca, I'm sticking with this simply to see how crazy it gets.
Where are we at? This could be great. Oh, I hope, you know what? That would be refreshing.
Right?
That would be refreshing.
Does JUNHO though, really, with his, is he really choosing a script that has got no real heft to it and just a straight up tropey rom-com? That's my question.
After the Red Sleeve.
And what's the one everyone loves? Just Between Lovers, and his breakout role with Good Manager, yeah.
With
Like
Nam Gun-min.
he hasn't really, he everything about him, unless he's like, I'm going to do something different against my personality and just be a straight up rom-com guy, which I can see because those are, that's against type, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem like it's very challenging for him unless it's just that challenging for him because he's just not that guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh,
but the Red Sleeve was so good. And he was so good in it.
He was so good at it.
With Lee Se-young. So I don't know. You're right. If there are a bunch of twists, I'll be really happy because what we've got right now is so standard, and there's such a pushback, which is really interesting to me because that people are, after all these years, that people are saying, "Oh, it's the same thing over again." Mm-hmm. I don't know if these are foreign fans or if these are Korean fans saying this, but yeah. Oh, I'm hoping for not Luca, but I'm hoping for a twist.
Nobody hopes for Luca ever. I don't even think people in Luca hope for Luca. I will never forget the look on my face when they walked in and they were basically a warehouse full of baby eels.
Oh my God.
I was like, what is happening right now? Just know this, y'all. We could have a warehouse full of baby eels somewhere in this show.
Well, I'm not sure why the director took it also, if it was just a standard rom-com.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're like, this will be fun. I've never done this before. But I mean, who wants, if you're into the genre type stuff, I can't imagine shooting and directing a tropey rom-com is what's going to, make your day for 6 months.
So this is on JTBC and we're watching it on Viki.
Netflix.
Is that right? We're watching it on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Right? So I don't know. As we're having this conversation, I'm actually starting to have more hope for this show than I originally thought.
Well, might have to tune back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Episodes 3 and 4. I'm coming for you. All right. So it sounds like we're going to be keeping both of the shows.
Sounds like it.
Right? Okay.
Also, it's summer.
It is.
Right.
Right.
We need a fizzy K-drama romance.
Right. So you got the fizzy K-drama romance on one side. You've got a little bit more hefty. There's going to be a lot of crying. I'm just going to warn you now. Right. And I'm not a big crier.
But she's died 18 times. Yeah. I just realized that.
So yeah, I think I'm sticking with both of these for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I think so. Me too. It might take me a while to turn on episode 3 of King the Land. I
mean, listen, if you force me to make a choice, I would definitely go with See You in My 19th Life.
Oh yeah.
That's if we were if you were like, you can only watch one, I would definitely go. Shin Hae-sun and An Bo-hyun have my heart, so I would definitely go with them.
That's right.
Even if it was Luca too.
Because I'm a little concerned because King the Land is the VIP secret floor. I'm like, are we going to be spending a lot of time with like difficult hotel patrons? Because that's how it goes. Like, I'm not I've seen that so many times.
Then we go back to VIP. It all comes back to VIP, y'all.
No, it does
it
not.
always comes back to VIP.
It does not. Jen's PTSD with VIP is so real and visceral.
So real and visceral.
HYUN, come back.
Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, all right, you guys, that was fun.
It was
a lot of fun. All right, you guys, let us know what you think about which ones you're really into. If you're liking both, what your thoughts are. If you think this is Luca Part 2 or if it's a go for King of the Land. And with See You in My 19th Life, what were your thoughts? Did it kind of weird you out? Did you enjoy it? Are you really into it? Like, let us know.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Please check out our other podcasts. Check out our replays of our lives on YouTube and our channel. We've got lots of great recommendations for you.
And if you get a chance, go ahead and like and follow our podcast so that the podcast people know that you enjoy it. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.